Hello, everyone. I'm Becky Robinson. I'm so glad that you've chosen to invest part of your afternoon with me. I will let you know as you're coming in that I actually had a virtual book launch party for a client right before this that went a little bit long. So, if I mess up my words or it's because that was one intense experience, an exciting one for sure. But I'm so grateful that I have the chance to be with you today. I would love it if you would take a moment and put into the chat where you're calling in from. Let me know who's here. We will use the chat throughout today's brief webinar to answer any questions, to get your feedback, to get your comments, and we hope that you'll please use the drop-down menu to select all panelists and attendees so that we can see your comments and so that everyone can participate with us. So welcome to some friends. I'm glad that I'm among friends on this crazy day. Hi, Denise. Hi, Karen. Hi, Susan. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Sally. I don't know your name, but I am glad you're here too. And, it's my hope that we'll share a few ideas in this broadcast that will be of use to you as you think about preparing for the holiday season and marketing your books. So welcome, Lynn, and welcome, Tom. And welcome, Gabrielle in South Bend, Indiana, not so far from me. Welcome to Louisa. I'm glad that you have chosen to be here with me. So for those of you who are on the call, I'm curious, have you previously used the holidays as a way of marketing your books? And go ahead and let me know that in the chat, and just a reminder to use the drop-down menu so that you share with everyone. So if you have used the holidays to market your books in the past, I would love to see that in the chat. I'm going to take a quick moment to get my slides ready and share my screen, and then I'm going to let Aubrey, my colleague who's with me today, I'm going to let her know. I'm going to let her let you know about our company and about what we're up to. Wow, I am really, really struggling to catch up after that last event.
So a few comments about marketing for the holidays. We have not effectively. Someone has used holidays for marketing, rented tables at holiday bazaars to sell their books. So there's a mix here.
Got it. Well, hopefully we'll be able to talk about those things together on today's call. And Aubrey, if you can just take a moment to tell folks about who we are, and then we'll dive into today's content.
For sure. So here's a team photo. As you all know, Becky is our CEO and founder. So we're super excited to have her here with us today to share her expertise about marketing in general and marketing specifically for the holidays. We've been talking a lot about that with our team as well, because it's never really too early to start thinking about that stuff. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of time. And then in terms of our company, we have partnered with business authors, and since 2012, we've launched over 100 books. We probably need an updated number because I'm sure it's, I don't know, 150 maybe, somewhere around there.
We can get the new number before the next webinar.
Yep. And then a little bit about some of our networks. This is something that we're super proud of. We have cultivated a lot of different networks, and we have somewhat of a global reach in terms of our webinar audience. 3 of those networks is Hometown Reads, Lead Change, and Team Buzz Builder, and we use these networks, we tap into these networks a lot when we're doing book launches or other marketing initiatives with clients, and we get a lot of good feedback from that. So that's something we love doing and what makes us unique. And then finally, just a little bit of a breakdown of our services. This is a breakdown from 2019, and as you guys can see, most of our work is with the book launch and then social and PR categories. So that's really where we shine and where we do most of our work. So I'll hand it back to you, Becky, and then I'll come back at the end when we can do questions. So if anyone has questions throughout the event today, just feel free to add them in the chat and we can get to them at the end.
Thanks so much, Aubrey, and I'm glad you're here with me. And thanks to those of you who are sharing that you have used the holidays as a means of marketing your books, and hopefully we'll have a chance to get back to some of those ideas. So the first thing I want to say is that marketing your books through the holidays is really not only about the end of the year holidays. And I know we started the webinar by talking about how it's important right now to be planning early. Amy, who's one of our colleagues, used to work in retail, and she said there's a reason why stores start to put out their, Christmas and end of year holiday decorations in August, and it's because they want to prompt us to be thinking. So as it relates to wanting to sell things, obviously part of our purpose today is to be here to talk about those end of the year holidays, but we also want to highlight that there are lots of different holidays throughout the year. Some of them may seem made up, but one of the things that you can do is really think about what, if any, holidays specifically relate to your book, and then how you can effectively leverage those. So I had meant to grab a book. We're working on a new book that's a little bit outside our typical genre. It's about penguins. And when I wrote the proposal to work on the book, what I discovered is there's Penguin Awareness Day in January, which is the perfect time to bring attention to the conservation aspects of this client's book. And I'm trying to remember the name of it, Every Penguin in the World. And so one of the things you'll see from our team coming up in the new year is a showcase of this book, Every Penguin in the World, and the way that we're going to leverage this holiday, Penguin Awareness Day, as a reason to be talking about the book. So for every author on this call, if you're interested in taking an action item, one of your most important action items is to use this website, daysoftheyear.com, and to pay attention to some holidays that may be specifically related to your book. You can also search hashtags on Instagram or other social platforms, or, even in a small way, pay attention to other people and how they're using holidays for marketing. So I happened to notice that yesterday was World Teacher Day. And if your book is specifically helpful to teachers, then you may want to mark on your calendar, and I can't remember the date, but whatever yesterday was, mark on your calendar and remember for next year. I know my friend and client Glenn Parker's on the call, and his book is Positive Influence Leader. World Teacher Day would be a perfect time to talk about and highlight leaders and teachers and how they make a positive impact. So Glenn, I hope you're taking notes, and that you might circle back next year, or even, post on your social today referencing yesterday as a holiday, to bring attention to the positive influence that teachers can use. And so you want to make sure that these opportunities to share about your book and message are natural and not contrived, and always find the right holiday that fits your book and its message. So this slide just gives an example. Our team was doing some searching this morning on Instagram as we put these slides together. Again, yesterday was World Teachers Day, and you will notice that lots of people use these holidays as inspiration for their social posting throughout the year. And if you find a hashtag that's associated, you'll definitely want to include that hashtag in your post to increase the reach of your post and to tap into those people who would have a natural interest in that holiday. So the first thing to do is to identify the holidays that are logically related to your title, and then be sure that you locate the hashtags to expand awareness of your topics and your posts. So there are some holidays that are really good for anyone who's an author, depending upon what type of author that you are. So our team collected a list of these. There's World Book Day in March, there's Poets Day in August, there's Read an eBook Day in September, it's just passed. Still coming this year is Authors Day in November. There's I Love to Write Day and Short Story Day. And these are just a small sampling of the many holidays that really would be good for any author to use as a reason to get back out in the world with content about their books. One of my favorites is Independent Bookstore Day, and Independent Bookstore Day can be a great time to give love to your local bookstore. I know I'm a big fan of Literati Bookstore in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And, if you're an author, you can talk about those independent bookstores where people might be able to buy your books. And many of us are using this new site, and the name of it is escaping me at the moment, but it will come back. But at any rate, finding a way to bring love to those independent bookstores by showcasing these holidays for all authors to use. So here's some other examples from Instagram of the way that various people are leveraging both the hashtags and the holidays to bring attention to their books. You can use those holidays again as opportunities to introduce yourself in your messages. And again, you can share those and search on social media to find and use the relevant hashtags. So if you're on the call and you have previously used those kind of general author holidays, I would encourage you to share about that in the chat. I am not really able to follow the chat today as much as I typically am, so I'm going to depend upon Aubrey, if you can, Aubrey, to pop back on if there's something I need to see. So let's transition now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the end of the year holidays, and there are lots of them. Obviously, you know, we have Halloween still coming, we have Thanksgiving, and we have also what we think about as the typical end of year holidays. Some people have done promotions for Black Friday. You can do Cyber Monday. You can do Christmas and Hanukkah, the gift giving holidays, Kwanzaa, any of those, you know, end of the year gift giving holidays, and you can do New Year's. And so let's talk a little bit about the way that you can use those end of the year holidays to bring additional attention to your book. So Cyber Monday typically is a holiday where people are talking a lot about discounts, and the motivation is, hey, it's Cyber Monday, get online and purchase your gifts early. And so if you are a traditionally published author, you might consider contacting your publisher to see if you can get some discounts going for Cyber Monday and use those as a way of getting your book out into the world. Or if you're a self-published author, you could consider using Cyber Monday as a time to lower the price on your Kindle book or on your print book as a means of driving additional sales at the holiday season. And you can do that, you know, with your book as a gift, or just in enticing people to purchase your book at year end. If you are an author in the business book space, it's possible that you can leverage the end of the year and the end of organizations' fiscal years to promote your book as a training and development tool or as a gift for people within organizations at the end of the year. I know my friend Karen Hurt is on this call, so I'm going to grab her book off my stack if I don't knock it over in the process. You know, this new book, Courageous Cultures, Karen Hurt, the author, is on today's webinar, might be a book that training and development folks would want to buy at the end of the year with budget. And, you know, I don't want to leave out my awesome friend and client, Chip Bell, who was also on this call, and his title, Inside Your Customer's Imagination. I don't think I have a copy, Glenn Parker, of your book handy to reach, but there are many of you on this call, and it's possible that if you can work effectively, that you can get the attention of training and development people who may choose to buy your book in bulk at the end of the year if they have remaining budget. Now, we have noticed that COVID has definitely hampered book sales for many of our authors, and it may also be cutting into organizations' training and development budgets. But typically, a recommendation that we make is for business book authors to really think about what they can do at the end of the year to tap into remaining budgets. You also want to think about whether or not your book would make a good gift for someone to buy individually, not only in bulk for their organizations. And we have an upcoming podcast episode where we talk about some unique ways that some authors have paired their book with other items to make it an enticing bonus gift. So, you know, one of the ideas that we floated to Chip Bell would be to sell his book with one of these mugs from the cover as a package deal, so that if someone's buying a book for a professional connection, they also have a fun gift with it. I would encourage you to check out the upcoming podcast episode to find out more about some other ways that authors have creatively paired their book with another item. Now, it could be an item like, you know, an item branded with the book, or it could be an item that relates, if you're a fiction author, to something that's in the book. I recently spoke on the podcast, and you'll hear this if you listen to the episode. Barb Bruce is a faith-based author, and in her book she talks about a special kind of pottery, and she's toying with the idea of creating some custom jewelry. So if people buy her book, she can send a signed book and the custom handmade jewelry piece as a gift. So it's never too soon to really start thinking about the unique ways that you can bring your book to life and pair it with other items to make it a great gift for someone. And then go out to your audiences. So let's talk about a little bit about the process that you could go through as an author as you think about how to use the end of the year holidays as a way to promote your book. So the first thing is to really ask yourself and answer the question honestly, is your book a good fit for the end of the year holidays? You know, there are some books that just won't be a good fit. And there are some books that lend themselves more toward gift giving than others. Now, I didn't mention New Year's. New Year's is a really great time to be promoting books for personal or professional development as people are really thinking about starting a new year fresh. And so while maybe your book isn't the right book for the end of the year gift giving holidays, or not the right gift for Cyber Monday, potentially your book could be a good book to promote at the new year. Quick shout out, since I have all these books stacked here, Mindset Mondays with DTK is a book that we recently launched, and David mentioned to me that the holiday he feels best would support his book is Groundhog Day, because he talks a lot about making changes that stick. And, you know, the movie Groundhog Day is a reminder to all of us of doing the same thing again and again and again. And so David plans, when February comes, he's already planning ahead that he's going to do some promotion around his book, helping people to not make it Groundhog Day in 2022, but to make changes so that the new year can be different. So first of all, you want to identify if your book is a good fit, which holidays are most relevant for your book. You want to use promotions to target the right audience. So identify who the best buyer is for your book, or who might buy your book as a gift, like who the gift might be for. And then there are a number of ways that you can announce your book promotions at the end of the year to others to make them aware. You can use your email marketing and make sure, you know, as early as October or November that you're starting to talk about your book as a gift. You can use social channels, obviously, of course, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Graphics, you could use some advertising where you target the specific people who might want to buy your book as a gift. You know, thinking ahead to some of the other holidays throughout the year, you want to think about Mother's Day and Father's Day and Grandparents' Day, graduation, whether any of those holidays are a great match for your book. And then make sure that you plan and execute a campaign so that you're reinforcing the message and becoming memorable to the people who are following you at those appropriate times throughout the year. But again, it's so important to go back to make sure that your book is a good fit for the holiday that you're choosing. I've seen some really interesting holiday promotions that Barrett Kohler Publishers has done for Halloween. Maybe we'll be able to find those and share them on Weaving Influence social channels in upcoming weeks as Halloween approaches. They did some really fun things with that. All right, so I just wanted to share briefly a few examples of graphics, and we went into our archives to pull out some of the graphics over the years, and this Mike Myatt one is a throwback to, I think, 2014. The fun thing is, once you create some custom graphics to highlight your book, you can pull these out year after year if your book is still a book that would have relevance. And most of the books that we support are ones that people could buy year after year or might discover year after year. This bottom graphic, Holiday Sale, actually is a client that we previously served called Servant Leadership Institute. So if you are selling on your website yourself, you can think about doing some holiday promotions, either with a discount on shipping or a site-wide sale like SLI did. I think that was last year. I can't remember for sure. Let's see what else we have. We have questions. I got through that content really fast. So this is a time for questions or comments. And I know, Aubrey, you've been watching the chat, so maybe you can share with us.
I have not seen any questions yet. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to add them.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we could do is workshop a particular book and the type of holidays that might work for that book. So if you're an author who's on the call and you'd like to use the hand raise function, I could bring you over as a panelist and special guest, and we could workshop and brainstorm together some holidays that might be a fit for your book. So if there's anybody who would like to use that hand raise function, I'll be more than happy. Oh, I have 2 volunteers. Amazing. Okay, let's see if we can do this brainstorming in real time. I'm going to promote a couple of you to panelists. And it looks like our friend Maya Huchan is here. I have her book too. I'll have to hold that up.
Karen says in the chat, Karen says, one thought is doing team leader holiday packs.
Team leader holiday packs. So to put together a bunch of books, is that correct? So
but that's what.
I promoted a whole bunch of people to come over and be a panelist. So let's see. I can't see your name though, now that I promoted you. Let me see. Who would like to speak first? I have Anna and I have Irene, and I have Maya.
I'll be glad to speak first.
Hi, Anna.
Hi. I have a book coming out on Halloween because the series it's a part of is called Haunted Harlem. So Halloween isn't in the book, but since the series is called Haunted, I figured Halloween would be a good day to launch. But then I thought, listening to you talk about other holidays in the year, I thought, well, maybe I need to find out other holidays that deal with ghosts and death and
there likely are some, Anna, and I'm not thinking of any offhand, but what a great idea to plan the launch of your book on a holiday that so closely matches the title. And I think you can probably have a lot of fun with that. So, you know, one of the things that we've been doing recently is some virtual launch parties with authors. That's what I was doing right before I came on this webinar. So you may want to think about, is there a fun way that you can incorporate Halloween and a virtual party to bring people together during this time of COVID? You can think about tricks or treats. You might even think about, are there some treats that you can offer to those who might help you support the book? So if you have an email list, because the book is coming out on Halloween, you can say, hey, no tricks. I just want to, you know, here's some treats for participating in my book launch. So those are my best in the moment ideas for you, Anna.
Thanks. My Gothic romance writers, we are going to do a Halloween event. And so I'm doing some giveaways during that, but I like that. No tricks, here's a treat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, sure. So thanks for coming on. I'm going to let you go back on the other side of the webinar, but thank you for joining us. It's brave. I love it. And thank you for being with us. Maya, I'm so glad to see you. I'm trying to get my hands on your book.
Hi.
So a shout out to you, Maya, Saving Face, How to Preserve Dignity and Trust. So what would you like to chat about today, Maya?
Well, I'd like to come up with some ideas on how to promote it during holidays, for different holidays. So I actually don't have any idea right now.
Yeah, I definitely think, along with other business book authors, that your book can, you know, coincide with this idea of training and development folks who might have end of the year budget. Karen, I loved your idea about a pack of books for new leaders. So Maya, I'm curious about whether there are others that you could partner with, whether it be Karen, I know you probably don't know her yet, or others who have released books this year, where you might put together, here's a pack of books that will help supercharge your leadership in the year ahead. And your book certainly is one that leaders can use in terms of really understanding how to be more culturally competent and build trust on their teams. So I think I love Karen's idea the best of trying to find a way to package your book with others. In terms of other holidays, what I'm wondering about is if there are any holidays, you know, related to the importance of understanding difference or honoring difference. And so I would check that year of holidays calendar to see if there are any holidays that really fall in line with that of celebrating difference and understanding difference to honor each other.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm going to definitely check out that the link that you mentioned earlier today. Yeah, and then I think package, probably you know, doing a package with other books will be great to think about during the holiday that people can buy as gifts.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope you have great success with that. You know, what also occurs to me, Maya, and also might be fitting for other leadership authors as well, is really to think about the way that you can talk about the concept of gratitude and, you know, the value of grateful leaders and how you can kind of tie that into your book and message as a Thanksgiving message. Sometimes Thanksgiving, there's not as much noise. And so you could talk about your book at Thanksgiving, you know, show the leaders that have made a difference by building trust in a strong way with you, show them your thankfulness by gifting your book. So I don't know, maybe Thanksgiving would work.
Hey, great. That's a wonderful idea.
Well, thank you for joining today, Maya, and I hope that this was helpful.
Yes, thank you. I'm getting some really good ideas. Thank you.
All right. So we have one more guest. Irene, if you can unmute. Yes.
She wrote in the chat her mic is not working, but her book is called Mary New, a biography of Mary from ancient scriptures. And it's a testimony of Apostle James, the youngest son of Joseph. And she says she wrote it as a historical narrative. So I think
Got it.
she has a second book as well.
So Irene, what I would be curious about is if there are some specific church holidays that match to your book, and whether or not you might be able to look at a church type calendar to identify some dates that could be relevant for you to use your book to celebrate. You could also, I mean, what occurs to me is that your book would be of interest to people who have a deep faith or are interested in delving into those topics more. So it could be that connecting with church groups could be a good way of, offering the book as a gift to those groups, or potentially, finding a holiday that matches and doing some free book group discussions with them. So I don't know if any of those ideas are a fit. I'm really challenging myself on the fly today, so I hope it's helpful. Feel free if you have any questions or comments on that, Irene, to put that in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. I do want to take a moment before we run out of time to share about a couple of ways that the Weaving Influence team wants to support authors for this holiday season. So one of the things that we did is we put together 2 holiday graphics packages where you can get 12 different graphics to help promote your book during 3 upcoming holidays. So if you buy one of our social media graphic bundles, you'll get 4 that are general holiday, like the end of the year holidays. You'll get 4 that are for Cyber Monday and 4 for New Year's. And there's 2 different price points here on the slide, and I want to show you really quickly what you'll get. So these are the templates that our designer designed. And if you're looking for some support at the lower price point, we'll drop your book cover into these graphics. We'll drop your specific discount amount on the Cyber Monday graphic, and then you'll get 12 graphics, which will include a Facebook header, a Twitter header, an Instagram share, and a general share graphic on these exact templates. So depending upon if you know other authors in our circles, it's possible that you'd come across other books on these same templates, but highly unlikely. The second possibility is for us to do 12 graphics for you for the holidays, still the same 3 types of holidays, but they would be completely custom. And so I'm showing you a slide right now of the completely custom graphics. And I think that Aubrey's going to put the links where you can purchase those immediately on the slide. The other thing that we're going to provide along with the graphics in the graphics packs is what we call our holiday social media posting toolkit, where we've gathered some best practices for leveraging social media at the holidays into a PDF that you can use as a reference. And along with that, we also have a CSV file where we've selected some of those unusual holidays throughout the year, and we have some templates for social posts. And what you can do is you can copy those out of the spreadsheet, put in your book title, put in your book link, and it's over 100 ready to go social posts that you can use throughout the year to promote your book. So for the offers that we have today, we have those 2 different graphics packages, the templated package where I showed you the templates. We have the possibility of custom graphics, and both of those packages come with the social media posting toolkit that Aubrey's been working so hard to create, and then also the CSV of a bunch of posts that you can copy and customize and use throughout the year. So we will put those links into the chat, and I hope that they will be of help to you. The other thing I want to let you know is that we are going to be sharing throughout the year, throughout the month of October, all of our podcasts are on the topic of using the holidays for your book promotion. And, it's always free to access the podcast, and we encourage you to download and listen and share. And Maya asked me to share the pricing again. I'm happy to. So there's 2 different bundles. There's the templated bundle where you get 12 graphics for $197, and your book cover is dropped into those templates that have been pre-designed, or you can get custom graphics, and those are completely custom to you and your book cover and can include your company logo if you like, as you see here with the Servant Leadership Institute graphic. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today. We have been doing these webinars monthly. Our team is a little bit crazy right now, and so we may be taking a break from our monthly book marketing webinars in the month of November, but we plan to be back in the new year. Along with that, we may also be taking a break on our podcast, ending season 1 in the early part of November, and then back in the new year with more podcast episodes. So we hope that you'll watch us and keep reading our emails and stay tuned for the content that we want to bring you, so that we can help you to market your book in the most effective way. So thank you again for joining, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. You can always email me if you have questions or ideas, or want me to brainstorm with you over email, becky@weavinginfluence.com, and I'll do my best to get back with you. I would also welcome you to connect with me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the various places. And again, really glad that you could join us. So my cell phone number is here, my email address is here, and we will be sending out with our follow-up materials the links to the packages and the slides, so that you can review and share with others if you like. So thanks, and have a great day.